Hi, my name is Faith Porter. An organization, or more like a business, I used to work for was back in my hometown was our local swimming pool. I worked there for 5 years, and 2 of the years I was a manager of. Um, our biggest vision and mission there was to basically give the kids not only in our county but the counties surrounding ours kind of a local place for all the kids, adults, teenagers, like everybody to come enjoy and swim and have fun. I think one of our biggest strengths that we had there was we had different hours of the day for people to come swim. Like we opened 1 to 5 and then 7 to 9. So it kind of gave people who have like jobs and don't get off until 5 or 6 a chance to be able to come bring their kids and still swim. And then along with that, we had some hours set up for like in between where we would do like water Zumba, lap swim, family swim, just to give a chance for all different kinds of uh, people and the things they like to do that might be a little difficult to do with 100 kids in the pool, a chance to be able to do that. And then we also did swimming lessons, and along with public group lessons, we were also able to do one on one lessons with the kids. So if they had a harder time learning in group settings or paying attention, they were able to have a chance to do a one on one lesson with us and still get all the knowledge they would need. Um, I think one of our biggest weaknesses was that we didn't always have enough staff to um, trying to think of the word, sorry, but we didn't always have the biggest of staff. So when we had 13 different levels, we sometimes only had 10, 12 lifeguards that could work at that time. And so sometimes we ended up having to kind of group some of the levels together, which didn't always work out depending on where they were at swimming wise. For the most part, we were able to make it work, but sometimes it was a struggle. I think another weakness that we had is we didn't always have up to date systems. For the longest time, my first 2 years working there, we had a really old computer system that didn't always work very well and took a long time to load and boot up. And then we would keep written notes and like scheduling for the work schedule, swimming lesson schedule, all that stuff, and it would like get lost or not be able to read someone's handwriting. And it was a bit of a struggle. Eventually, my last 3 years working there, we got a lot of updates done, which helped a lot, but still doesn't always work the best, or didn't. Um, some of our objectives that I was told to kind of pass on to the rest of the guards was to make sure we were constantly, as guards, following the rules, like staying off our phones, making sure we're paying attention to the kids while they were in the pool, not getting off task, kind of just making sure we're getting everything that needs done, as well as making sure the kids are enjoying their time there and that the parents can feel like it's a good place to bring their kids, or if they're dropping them off, that they will be safe, and if anything happens, like we know what we're doing. I think one of the threats we faced was in two towns that were relatively close for that area. They were about 15 minutes, and the other was about half an hour away from us. I also had pools that would do swimming lessons. A lot of them tended to come to ours because we had more of a diverse system. We had more levels, and so each level it was planned out to the T on what they would learn, what they would work on, and it wasn't so much of a wide variety in one group. It would be like you would work on these 5 things, the next group would be like the next step, whereas the other pools didn't always have that. But um, one of the threats was a lot of our kids would come from the areas with the other pool. And when these other pools kind of started doing lessons, they would go there instead because it's closer, it's a lot easier to get their kids to. And so we ended up losing a lot of business that way. And then along with COVID, when that kind of happened and is still going on, we ended up losing more of our regular swimming lessons kids and everyday population that would come to the pool. Um, we also, some of our kind of goals and initiatives for more of the staff was we were a lot of the times kind of not on our own, but in a way we were kind of on our own to deal with a lot of the up to date issues and maintenance that happened all the time, whether it was a clogged pipe to drain the pool water off the sidewalk, or if we would run out of cleaning supplies or anything like that, like the managers and our staff would have to go and kind of fix that. And if we couldn't, it was on us to call the maintenance people who would come and do chemicals and piping and stuff. And then um, a big thing that we were kind of always told to do was to make sure that we weren't giving overtime as much because we weren't the richest of communities and we were a very small town, so we didn't always have the extra money to be paying overtime. And so I think that was a big struggle for not only the managers but the guards, especially when you end up going towards the end of the season because it was a very repetitive job. You kind of did the same things every day, every week, every month for over the entire summer. And so towards the end of the summer, we ended up with a lot of burnout from our lifeguards, which always wasn't good. And we would have to find kind of different ways to keep them motivated to keep coming back. I think a big thing that would have helped them with that is not only having them work like the same hours, but maybe like, oh, this week you're just going to be on stand, this week you're just doing lessons to kind of give them a little variety in what they were doing. I think another thing that I actually really liked about our company was we had a candy bar and candy station, and it had like pops, water, popcorn, candy. What else did we have? We had some freezies that the kids really liked, but the city didn't run it. We, as the guards, kind of did it ourselves, and like the city allowed us to do, which was really nice, and I think a good thing. So we would all pool in $20 at the beginning of the season to kind of start it off, and then we would end up having a nice little kind of a bonus check at the end of the season that was a couple $100. So you kind of got a good investment return on that. So I think that was a good thing that the city let us kind of start and let us kind of handle and take over instead of having them kind of take it over and tell us what to do for that. So I really enjoyed that part of it. I think a good thing that they had for us was they allowed us to have night swimming for the guards, so it was kind of like a nice little reward or treat we would be able to do when we wanted. Because we would end at 9 o'clock at night, and then afterwards, if some of the guards would want to go night swimming or take a friend night swimming, like we were able to do that. So it wasn't just okay, you're gonna go to work and then you can swim during the day, but we kind of got that little bit of a reward at the end of every night if we wanted to have the chance to go swimming with our friends or just us and not be around hundreds of people every day. Um, Overall, I think it was a pretty good company to work at, and I think they took it very seriously, and I think they ran it really well. I think they took it a lot into consideration about what us managers would think and how things were going, and I enjoyed it.